This is the closing market report for Monday on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. On the phone right now with Bill Moore of Price Futures Group as we wrap up another day in the ag marketplace. Bill, what have we seen going on in the grain and livestock markets today to kick off this week?
A lot of volatility. Hard to say what's coming next with this war. The news over the weekend was pretty significant and it's impacted the markets today. In the weekend, the peace talks fell through in Pakistan. As a result, President Trump is proposed blockading the Straits of Hormuz. China gets all their crude oil, most of their crude oil from Iran, and that means they would not get any. They weren't happy about that, so that might have impacted the U.S.-China relations. Iran has threatened to retaliate, blockade by missile and drone attacks on other Persian Gulf ports. The two-week ceasefire is still in effect. And this blockade may delay the war's end. It may delay the China-U.S. summit. It's supposed to be in Beijing in mid-May. So it's just hard to say. Initially, the crude was up quite a bit. It was up at one time about $8 or $9. Now it's only up $2. I think as the crude sold off, the grains were higher off the higher crude. Corn is a good example. Corn at one time today, I think 11 o'clock was on its highs, 445 and a half. It was up almost a nickel, and then it sold off. Now it's unchanged. Beans at one time were about 10 cents. Now they're down 13, but the wheat still stayed up. Still higher by 11. They just kind of follow the crude. The crude was up earlier, so say $8 or $9. Now it's only up $2, and the grains were up with it, and they sold off. The wheat stays higher because of the weather, the drought in the winter wheat belt. But in the corn and bean planting belts, we've warm weather and wet weather meant that it looks like it's just pretty benign conditions for planting and germination. And the acres are still in question with the corn, with the high price and maybe now the continued high price of fuel and fertilizer and shortage of fertilizer. The acres could be reduced, less production. So a lot of back and forth in here for the day. And once again, the Iran war taking precedence. The weather is closely watched. We did have exports at 10 o'clock. Inspections very good for the beans at 814,000 and the corn at 1.78 million metric tons. So exports continue to be good. Very fluid situation in the Middle East, and the headline risk is pretty severe, day to day. And today is a good example of the volatility of these markets and what the crude oil going up and down can do to the grains. So it's kind of the news today for the grain markets. Livestock takes a pretty close look at what the stock market's doing because of when oil surges, that means less disposable income and less maybe demand for beef and pork in the supermarket. Today the cattle is kind of steady-ish. Actually, the April cattle is down $1 off. Maybe the idea of higher crude, but it was up here at record levels last week, so it's also a little overbought. But if you look in the chart of April cattle, it's been an upside wonder since early March. The market's rallied $25 since early March. It's near record levels, again, off tight supplies and good demand. And meanwhile, the pork market is, as I said, languished on its lows. And once again, say every day you can take the cattle chart and turn it upside down, you get the hog chart. So it's not often you see one market going up every day and the other market hugging its lows, but that's the case now. Demand is a lot better for beef in the supermarket. Supplies are a lot tighter. Cattle is showing that on the charts, making new highs almost every day, even though it's at record levels right now. And don't see that failing to continue through the end of the month until maybe prices get so high that they would mitigate the demand. But that hasn't happened yet.
All right, Bill, lots of great information today. For anyone who would like to get in touch for more marketing information and check out your newsletter, how can they do that?
630-947-5176. WMoorePriceGroup.com. Check out my newsletter, Agmaster. or www.pricegroup.com, the company website. Look at the bios of Jack Scoble and myself. We've both been there a long time. We'd love to help you out.
That again was Bill Moore of Price Futures Group. We'll look at the numbers next.
In rural Iowa, you need reliable information. The Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network brings you ag-specific content like market trends, weather outlooks, and policy updates that matter to your operation, while your local station brings you community news and consistent updates on what is happening in your area. It's a partnership built for the challenges of rural life. Your farm, your local station, and your friends at the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, where Iowa Ag matters. Find us online at iowaagnet.com.
May corn down 3/4 cent at $4.40 1/4. December new crop down 1 1/4 at $4.71 even. May soybeans down 13.5 at $11.62 1/4. November new crop down 8 even at $11.49 3/4. May soybean meal up 10 cents at $3.31.90. Soybean oil down 59 cents at $66.50. Chicago wheat up 11 1/4 at $5.82 1/4. Kansas City hard red winter wheat up 12.5 at $6.03 1/4. Minneapolis spring wheat up 13 even at $6.24 1/2. May oats up 6 1/4 at $3.38 1/2. On the Merc, April live cattle down $1.12 at $250.65. April feeders up 32 cents at $374.47. May lean hogs down 67 cents at $94.85. Pork cutout went unchanged at $108.77. And April Class 3 milk down 5 cents at $16.98. That's been a check of the closing market prices. Thanks again to Bill Moore of Price Futures Group for joining us today here on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, where Iowa Ag matters. I'm Riley Smith.